This is a project I've been wanting to do for a while. Tic Tacs are available everywhere, and just for a few bucks you could pick up one. This one is a Tic Tac gum, but it's the same size as most other Tic Tacs. It's about 3 inches long and 2 inches wide. Should have a Tic Tac counter. How many times I say Tic Tac? Sky Magenta Craft made a few bags using Tic Tac containers. In her 6 DIY Barbie hacks and crafts Tic Tac miniature bag video. I was inspired by the hard case backpacks they use in the Star Wars Bad Batch show, one of my favorite shows. I've always liked the look of the hard case backpacks. I pulled the label, the lid, and the small lid off. I don't have to worry about getting the label residue off because I'm going to cover it. I found that a Django Block will fit inside the container, and I cut it down with my razor saw. This wood is very nice. It should work well. I decided to integrate the wood piece into the lid. I had to carve a bit off the wood for it to fit. My daughters used to use the OGX shampoos, and I would pull the lids off of them when they were done using them. To me, this looks like a satellite dish. I've been wanting to use it in a project for a long time now. I found there was enough room in the container for the OGX lid and the wood part to fit. I super glued the wood to the Tic Tac lid. Using my one hand, should be using a tripod technique. I drilled a hole in the OGX lid and the wood piece. I pushed the toothpick into the OGX lid. The toothpick has a decorative end on it, so it looks cool inside the OGX lid. I had to shave a bit off the OGX lid to get it to fit inside the Tic Tac container. You can start to see how it's all coming together. I ended up having to re-glue all the parts back together, but it all worked out in the end. I used some flat black spray paint to cover the lid parts. It took a few coats to get a good coverage. While my lid is drying, I moved on to the container part. I'm using some camouflage fabric to cover the container with tacky glue, plenty of tacky glue. I know this stuff will stick well to the fabric. My concern was it would pull away from the plastic. So I squeezed plenty of glue out and smeared it all over the place. I pulled the fabric over the container and got it tight. I had to make sure all edges were glued down. I left it to dry for a few days. I had to figure out where I was going next. I made a simple headset to see if I could get it to sit on the OGX satellite lid part. It fit inside the container with no complications. After a few frustrating minutes, I went with a simplified version, using a larger snap and some smaller paper clips. I had the small black plastic pit I used for an antenna with some black duct tape and super glue. I found some black cord to cover the top of the container. I felt this backpack could use something extra. I found one of my unfinished popsicle stick knives. This one I used some outshine bar sticks. I had to glue an extra wood spacer to get the knife to sit right on the backpack. The knife will sit on the right side of the backpack. The super glue sticks really well to this fabric. I had more of the black cording and used it for the shoulder straps. I added extra loops at the top of the shoulder straps. This could be used for hanging extra gear or something. I added some black cording around the bottom end of the shoulder straps. I added some of these large hooks at the top and bottom of the backpack. I finished it off with elastic cord. This could be used to hold extra gear. I also added a small screen to the back of the satellite unit. I added some graphics to the small lid. I glued in a red and blue gem to look like buttons. I decided to make this Ricky's main communication gear. She has a plus-size TB League body. The hands I got with her are pretty small. She'll have to be the communication expert for now, until I can get some larger hands. For some reason, she was shipped with smaller hands. I'm not really sure why. The backpack fits her well, and looks great with her outfit. Even Jason is impressed. The small lid can be popped off and used while the backpack is on. I might have to touch up some of the areas that are not painted. Jason and Ricky are part of my Brass Eagle Adventure Team Black unit, Brass Eagle's Special Operations unit. The gear holder works well, holding gear like these binoculars. The blade is orientated where he can grab it and use it. The satellite unit can be deployed quickly with no setup. The headset has a tendency to fall off and you have to dump it out, but it's no big deal. The screen on back looks great, a bit off center, but not bad. I really like how this turned out. I've been wanting to use the OGX lid in a project for a long time. Headset and handheld in place, she looks like she's ready to go. Since the satellite unit has a flat bottom, it can be placed on any surface. When ready to leave the area, she could fit the satellite unit into the backpack with the headset, snap the handheld back in place. I set up a fast rooftop watchtower, John 4 style. If you haven't seen any of John's sets, check out his Joe Joint Operations Executive stories on Facebook. I think this is how the satellite unit would work best. I really like how this project turned out. It's always fun to find uses for items that would just end up in the trash. If there's any items you'd like to see me turn into Joe items, drop a comment. And if you guys are interested in doing some sort of collaboration, also drop me a comment. Thanks for checking out my new satellite communication backpack. And thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you'll be notified when I upload a video. Like, share, and comment. It really helps my channel out. Don't forget to collect, inspire, and create. See you in the next one.